7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Man, oh man, oh man, it's Wednesday night. That could only mean one thing. That could mean lots of things, I guess. But tonight, right here, it means it's We Be Tailing. We're here live with you here on a Wednesday night. I'm Captain Eric Hasty, and that is
not a captain.
Not a captain. No, not even really good at catching redfish.
I resemble that. Evidently, I can't catch any redfish anymore. It's starting to tick me off. I think it was how I was holding my lip.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
howdy.
I think that it's maybe my hair. I need a haircut.
It's getting a little bushy.
Yeah, I need a haircut.
I mean, I'm not saying that from a jealousy aspect of it, but
it's scared.
But when you start looking like that one BG, you know, it's starting to. It might be time for a haircut.
It's time for a haircut.
Can you,
who was that?
Can you
Which
hit,
one was
can you
that
hit
one?
the falsetto or whatever that extremely high
his
note is
name?
they used to? Well, it was, I don't know if it's Barry or Andy,
yeah, Barry
or
and Andy.
one of the, you know, all the gives. Yeah. Well, that's not even close.
That ain't it?
That's just loud. That's just loud. That's not high.
That's not high.
That's not high.
Well, how do you hit high notes? Hold on, let me
sing.
squeeze.
I can't sing.
Ready? Oh no, it's
Still just loud.
That's not it. That's
Still
not
just
it.
loud.
Too loud.
Well, John,
Barry
we are.
Gibb. Yeah, Barry Gibb.
We are.
Barry Gibb.
We're gonna attempt to have a good show tonight.
We've already had a great show. Let's slow her down.
We're shooting in the super secret studio here. We got the weekend fishing, a little bit of spotted by Captain's Corner. We're going to talk about the Florida Redfish Series that just transpired this past weekend. And we're going to give you some red snapper tips. At least we're going to try anyway. We'll see what happens, you know. But I don't know. What?
I talked to Anya.
Yeah? Okay.
She said you had texted her. She's too busy.
Okay.
Did you talk to her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, she said no. Well, I mean, it was
She
hard.
did not.
Yeah.
She told me yes.
What?
She told me yes.
You're kind of Jessica in us right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
She likes me more. She likes me not.
No. She said yes, but again, you're Jessica
Well, they don't
in
even
us
know
right
what
now.
we're talking about. They don't know who Anya is.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who she is.
No, they don't.
Sure, she does. Everybody knows her.
No, they don't.
It's like the most famous Polish person in Yankeetown. How do you not know Anya?
I have no idea.
How do you not know? Oh, man. But yeah, no, we're going to try to have a good show for you tonight.
It's going to happen.
But
We're at the wood level.
as usual, we always start off with the Blackwater Fishing Club. If you guys haven't gone over there to go see Anya at the Blackwater,
the Blackwater, Anya at the Blackwater.
You guys need to get over there. Go see them.
The resident pole.
They have their meeting every first Thursday of the month, followed by a tournament on Saturday. And it is the Blackwater Fishing Social Club.
Yes.
You know, so it's not
And
just
drinking
fishing.
club.
It's a drinking club. a talkie
I
club.
was talking about that. And it was like it's a drinking club.
It's a drinking club.
Really?
Mm.
I didn't know.
Mm. On their new shirts and their logos and everything, it says Blackwater Fishing
Why do we
and
have the
Social
same
Club.
shirts on?
Because you came in with a green shirt that you could see right through.
Why'd you make me have to wear this? It's not nice.
again, you were wearing a green shirt because you looked like the Cheshire Cat. Your head would be floating there on
camo.
So there we go. If you haven't gone, go have a good time. Join it. I don't get to participate as much as I used to. This past tournament, they had the tournament. I made it to their little dinner thing, and I went in and saw and shook a lot of hands, and everybody was like, "Are you running for office?" I was like, "No, I just hadn't seen you guys in a while. I miss you guys."
You make the beat now.
Yeah. There was no babies. I would have kissed some babies, but I was just shaking hands.
We're toting like maybe 5 to 6 people tomorrow night.
Toting 5 to 6 people tomorrow night.
Where are popular you're becoming?
Where are we
at the
toting?
Cedar River.
Oh,
We're bringing our own crowd.
Oh, awesome! You gonna take over the big table?
There's 2 big tables.
Is there now?
Yeah, there's one. Remember, there's one to the back.
You're gonna make another big
I'm not
table?
gonna take Bonnie's
There's gonna
table.
be 2 big tables.
Yeah, there's gonna be 2 big tables.
What?
Get out of here!
Y'all heard it here first.
Heard it here first. Heard it live.
You heard it here
Our friends
first.
enjoyed it. So they invited some friends, and
I like it. Well, I mean, that's
They
what you're
won.
supposed to
That's
do.
what you're supposed to do. Well, they won, so they thought this was great. I guess if they start losing, they'll leave again. But this time they won.
John, remember getting close to almost about a year ago when we went to Orlando and we hooked you again and we used that special tool and they got it right out of you. Remember that? Remember that? Well, we got some feedback.
Oh, I got feedback.
Yeah, so supposedly, we won't mention any names, but this person...
I know that hand.
Yeah, this person, they got stuck pretty deep in the finger.
Yep. Yeah, it was bad.
And for whatever reason, somebody in that vicinity, in that group, had the de-hooker tool. Yeah, and they managed to use the de-hooker on themselves and got it out. How about them apples?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
They told me that they counted to 2. and yanked. And then they said, ooh. They said it turned black and blue because it was deep. It was a big hook. And they said, ow.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't hurt. They said from the pullout. They said everything was fine there. They said, but that hook was in there.
Yeah,
and
you're going to hurt from being just in there. But that's
solid bruising.
Just like
they were very impressed with that hooker tool.
You can't fool yourself.
Yep.
If you're doing it to yourself, you can't say, I'm going to go on 3 and then go on 2.
They went on 2. Yeah. Whoever it was went on 2.
We'll call it a she. We saw the nail, but that doesn't mean anything anymore nowadays.
That's right. She went on 2. She said, I yanked as hard as I could. That thing come flying out there. She's like, okay, I go back fishing now.
So just a big shout out again to the de-hooker tool there.
Yep.
Hopefully they'll be at ICAST again and we'll see them again and maybe we can do it again, John. I don't know.
Oh, I'm fine with that. She said that she was very impressed with that tool and being out there and remembering she had it and was able to do that to herself and she went back to fishing. But she did say that it did hurt the next couple of days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you put a hook in.
And she said that was the first time she's ever done that to herself and then she had that tool, which was great. To have,
nice.
That's the first time she's ever stuck a hook in her hand after all the years of her fishing.
But that's
that's all it takes.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I've
done it
many times. These trout, you go to handle them and you grab up on the line and that hook jig head comes out and shoots into your pond. I've pulled a few of them out of my hand here just in the last couple of years.
Yeah, mine has always been
very
grouper.
fortunate.
Mine's always been grouper. Somebody throwing them in the boat too wild and they just come flying in and I put my hand up to block it and I catch it.
That's not the treble hook.
Yeah, hell yeah, the treble. I've taken, dude, I took 2 trebles into one hand.
John, you know what we didn't do?
What did we not do?
We didn't check in. I just saw Kevin says hi, y'all, and that just blew my mind. We did not.
Hey, y'all.
We did not check in to see who's here. I mean,
we're changing another format.
Well, the reason we do the show is for these folks. And Denise was the first commenter today.
She's good.
Surprise, surprise. Yeah, Dale come in second again. There we go. Casey says, what's the code word that we're drinking to, ladies and gents? I was like, I don't know that we need a code word.
It's gonna be hair.
Yeah.
All right. Hair. Get it, Casey. Hair.
Let's see. Rick is on. David's there. What's up, David? Christy. Let's see. Happy Wednesday, Florida friends. Still raining there. Okay. She's up in the Carolinas. There's Doug. Chris is there. Good evening from Michigan. Ooh, nice and cool up there. I imagine it is. Thomas, what's going on? Where's Mr. James? Tyler, happy hump day. Susie's there. What's up, Susie? RC, howdy, howdy. Bonnie with State Farm is on. Dale says Barry Gibb had the hair. That's right. Let's see. Kev Dog, what's up, Kev Dog? What did all this rain do to the inshore fish? Tough 2 days for several.
It did something on the day we were fishing because I sure didn't catch none.
Let's see. Justin, yo!
I can't drink that fast. Oh, man.
It's a good deal. All right, we checked in. We're caught up, John. Woo! I like it when a plan comes together.
Oh, my gosh. That's crazy.
So now, Jessica, we can get up here to what we were talking about here. So I reached out to Anya. If you don't know who Anya is,
who's Anya? Our resident pole.
Is she's the main
woman at Blackwater.
I guess, yeah, main one in charge, I guess, over there in Blackwater. Yeah. So at least that's my main contact.
Yep,
that's
about
your
main contact.
So. We discussed, some dates, and I think last episode or whatever it was, we threw out, basically there was a date, can we lock it in? And we, I guess we did it. We did, John. So June 28th.
I take it, Eric.
We're gonna have
send over a better one, wide better one.
We're gonna have a summer bash.
Man,
June,
I think we had a bash on my belly. Get in my belly.
Yeah.
You get in my belly.
So get it on the calendars now. There's no excuses. June 28th, Summer Bash. It's always a good
Why?
time. Bring preparations. It goes late. There's always a porch party.
Have some
DDs.
Oh, man, I get to stay at my house. I don't need a DD.
Apparently you got AC.
I got AC in my house.
So bring a cot. You can sleep in John's floor.
It's a party at the after party.
Hey, Dale, do you have your tea tumbler filled up? A tea tumbler? Dale's probably into the margaritas by now. Oh, Jessica must have been out on the water today.
He's heading to the rail.
Yeah. Jessica, was it windy out there today? I mean, I know it was windy on the shore. I imagine you might have got it blown, but at least that's where she's at. They could tuck in, up there at the Chaz. Getting your money's worth.
Yeah, he is.
Damn, Skippy.
Yeah, he is. Turd. Fat boy John. Fat guy in a little coat. I ripped my shirt, man. Damn it, man.
Jessica's still on the water. Not windy. All right, nice. Testing the boat out. Jessica, which boat?
No, did she get a new
Which boat? Which boat? Talk to me, Jessica. Let's see. The aluminum boat or the micro draft? Which one you running?
Oh, that's right. The micro draft. She got her a micro draft.
Yeah.
She's probably running the micro draft.
I don't know. We'll see what pops up. Okay, Bonnie, we will have it.
CDAC and the wrap next week. How about that?
Okay. Had to go up a few comments.
Yeah.
Bonnie's calling for pecan. little pecan. That would be interesting.
So pecan. Interesting.
I guess that'd be like a pralines and kind of thing, praline. Maybe, or something. I don't know. That'd be interesting.
Very interesting.
That'd be kind of almost butterscotchish, almost maybe a little bit. Maybe not as sweet. I don't know. Just talking about that weird water that shows up at these things.
My house will be done by then. Hot dog.
Woo!
Already got the paint done.
Yep.
Already got the walls done. The electrician's working in there tomorrow.
Yeah, nice.
I got the floor cleaners coming tomorrow to clean the wood. Eric's going to put the trim up. I got the duct work done. I got the AC on. And I got a lot of stuff for the walls already.
What are they called, John?
I got to buy a bed. They're statement pieces.
That's right.
I have all statement pieces.
Yeah. You both had it at last one. You act like I remember what I did yesterday, Bonnie. I don't know. You get up to my age and you kind of forget.
Who's going to be doing the DJing?
I don't know. We could probably have to hire somebody.
We're going to hire somebody this time?
We got to, that's a lot of work.
That is a lot of work.
You got to pay somebody a lot of money for that. Yeah. Yeah, you get what you pay for.
Mm-hmm.
Start putting together some playlists now. Let us know what you want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
You get tired of listening to Jimmy Buffett for 2-3 hours. You do 1 or 2 songs, it's okay.
Is that all they played last time was Jimmy Buffett?
I don't know.
We're locked up.
Nope, we froze. I don't know.
Right.
Looked like we froze on our end there for a second. Hopefully we're all good, guys. Let us know if we're back. But yeah, John wasn't moving.
Yeah, I was locked in.
So there you go. Mark your calendars. Summer Bash, June 28th. So very cool. Real quick, just a little shameless plug. I do music bingo 3 nights a week. Cedar River Seafood Debouille Bar and Nature Coast Bar and Grill. Look it up. Check those places out. It's a lot of fun. If you like music and you like to win prizes, come on. Every penny. It's worth it.
So are we going to dress up like Jimmy Buffett? What is the theme?
I don't know. Do we have to have a theme? If y'all want a theme, give us some theme ideas. I don't. Oh, I
gotta have a
we
theme.
got 6,000 lays from the last one.
We did get some lays. We got some lays.
Didn't get as laid as much as I thought we were going to get laid.
I did.
There was a bunch of leftover lays.
There was a bunch of leftover lays. Oh, they were everywhere.
Everywhere. So, John, I did not get a chance to get over to Captain's Cove today for their Captain's Cove tip of the week. But basically, getting the big boat ready, all ready for snapper season. And you know how it is. We're going to go do one thing. And then that one thing turns into another thing. And before you into it, the boat's tore apart and you got to put everything back together. There's just not enough time in the day to do everything. So did not get over there today. We want to remind you they do have the Cobia contest going on right now. The Cobia contest is still going on. I do believe Captain Will is in first place right now. So you're going to have to beat Captain Will. We'll see what happens. But that tournament is still going on here for a few more days. I think it was to the 20-something. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows right off the top of their head. But see, Dale says pass on that. Jessica says no theme. See, that's kind of what I was feeling, John. But, I mean, if you all want one, you got to let us know in the comments. We do this for you. I want the night.
Kumbaya. Kumbaya.
Let's see. That would do that. That would do that. Do that. We do have a Captain's Corner, though.
Okay, play it.
And you know who it is?
Jessica.
It's Jessica. She's the only one crazy enough to go out there in that poopy weather.
Oh, she was out there with us?
I don't know exactly what it was, but it was the only Captain's Corner I got, so I assume everybody else.
Hair blowing?
Everybody else had good sense.
What's going on here?
Jessica, Captain's Corner, went out with a couple of friends today. Fishing chaz, tides rolling out. Using that Q8 all day, all of us. It's beautiful. Tight lines. 31.
All right, there you go. Good deal. So, John, if this is the first time you've ever seen this show, and we do apologize, we do try to have fun on this show, but if it's the first time you're ever watching, explain to the people at home exactly what a Captain's Corner is and how they can submit one.
Take your phone, hold it like this, film your friend catching a fish, film yourself catching a fish, talk about what you're doing, what you're catching on, possibly about the area that you're in, and once you film about 30 seconds of this, and you're happy with the filming part of it, send it to Eric. He'll make you Facebook or YouTube famous.
Yeah.
That's it.
There you go.
Not like this, but like this, so it fits in Eric's little frame.
There you go. You send that to WeBeTailin on Facebook, CaptainEricKC@gmail.com, or you text it to 352-220-3206. And again, 15 to 30 seconds, much longer than that, becomes way too big. It's hard to send. You guys know. You all live in the digital area or, age,
Digital
I guess.
world.
Yeah. We are living in the material world. I think that was the only Captain's Corner we had, John.
I didn't see one yet.
Because nobody but our dumbasses was out, and everybody else in the floor.
Ours was the Captain Corner of lightning popping everywhere.
Please, Lord, don't die.
And two people sitting on the beach because they didn't want to fish anymore. They were done. They had thrown in the towel.
John, we got to talk about Bonnie with State Farm. If you haven't got your quote yet from Bonnie, you need to give her a call at 352-484-0905. Talk to Bonnie and or any of her wonderful staff over there. They'll give you a quote, and they'll do everything they can to help you out, get you either the same or better insurance that you already have, and they'll try to, get you a good price on it as well. We've got, here at the Hasty household, we've got a few things done through her. I think you guys got, you got your boat through them? Bonnie's insurance, your boat, you with Bonnie's?
Bonnie.
Yeah. Because you made a claim. Oh, my God.
I know. I took money from her. That was not nice.
And how did that work out for you, John?
Oh, man. Bonnie was on it. I didn't even have to do anything.
How awesome is that?
Bonnie already had the stuff done. See, that's why you pay people like Bonnie. Just go ahead and get yours through Bonnie. I mean, like most of our tailors have seen the light. If you haven't seen the light yet, you might want to call Bonnie.
There you go.
It is what it is.
Yeah. There we go. Look, Sam says, yo. He's either,
Playing with his
he must have finally got home. Yep. There we go. So Bonnie has a tournament, and we know that this is still a long ways off, but we're just making sure everybody is in the know that Saturday, November 8th, the Fishing for Freedom tournament. This will be, this will be the third annual tournament that they've started here. I guess 2 years ago, this will be the third one for a good cause, and it's a fun tournament. It was really large. It was a large event. They outgrew their original place in Dunellen and ended up in Yankeetown, and I think they filled that building as well.
Ooh.
Oh, Sam hadn't gotten home yet. Yeah, so he's still driving and got to be back here at what time, Sam? What time are you going to be back?
He's going to cancel.
He will.
Candy ass.
I told him, I said, he's got to send me a message by a certain time or I'm not setting my alarm.
He's a candy ass canceler.
Yep.
Just call me. I'll go and we'll go catch some.
Yeah, well, if I wake up and he gives me that I can't make it, I'll call you and we'll just take the boat.
Show him what one looks like.
We'll let him know. Whoa, we got a tip for the June 28th party. How about that? What do we call it? A summer bash. That's gonna be nice.
Bash.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
Oh shoot, he put a time down. He going. He's serious.
Well, you got to be here at 6, Sam.
Oh,
here.
He's got to get up early if he's going to be here at 6.
Oh yeah.
He has to leave his house like 4, doesn't he?
Yeah,
give or take.
Wait.
Yeah.
He swears up and down he can make it from his house to here in an hour and a half, and I can't do it in 2 hours and 15 minutes. So.
No, even speeding, he ain't gonna make it.
Yep. So, yeah, I don't know how he does it, but that's what he says.
His
anyway.
turbos are rolling.
Yep. Now, John, speaking about tournaments here, we got to talk about this one.
Why?
And
I want to talk about it.
Well, I don't want to.
I mean, I want to talk about them, but I don't want to talk about what we did in the tournament.
But I mean, yeah. So
we didn't do much in the tournament.
If anything, John, we're honest, and even Sam told me today. He said it is so weird to be with somebody who's so awkwardly honest, and I said, is that good or bad? But
sometimes you wonder.
Yeah.
Sometimes you wonder.
But I've always found it. I don't like to be lied to,
Nope,
and
don't like
I don't get wrapped up in the lies, and it's too hard to remember the lies that you told somebody. So we try to be completely honest, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, or whatever. And
Or just downright ugly.
and like I said, John hit the nail on the head. This is nothing against the Florida Redfish Series. We love the Florida Redfish
we love
Series.
them. We just couldn't catch them.
I wish they could pick better dates for better weather, but other than that,
they got the bad weather
every
days down
tournament this year
has been
has been either icebreaker kind of weather or getting the crap beat out of this weather.
No, Sam, I'm not coming, brother.
Yeah,
I wish. I got to work.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Frost is on. What's up, Frost?
Speaking of cold, Frost.
Yeah. We got a bit of
Speaking of the frost.
Yeah. But no, so
Man.
Florida Redfish Series was in Cedar Key this year. And Cedar Key's still struggling, guys. I don't know if you hadn't been over there in a little bit, but you know, they need, you know, if you haven't gone over there, try to go support whatever is still, you know, over there, because they're still struggling. They got a lot, you know, going on, and there's, I don't want to say or give away where we pre-fished and all that good stuff, but there's other areas north of there that are really struggling too to try to come back.
Struggling.
Yeah, there's that hurricane stuff was no joke.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad.
Until you've seen it firsthand, man. Golly, boy, that storm was bad.
Well, yeah, the hurricane
a lot
definitely
of
was.
people's lives and a lot of people's homes and a lot of people's vehicles and a lot of people's boats and a lot of people's things were destroyed in that thing. It was bad.
It was, and Cedar Key, I guess because, you know, it kind of we're tucked away in Crystal River, Yankeetown, all that. We're kind of in this bowl. We're in the bowl, and then Cedar Key comes out and it's on the point, and it just really it sticks out. And when the weather comes through, it comes through. It gets hit on those Saturday, or not Saturday, but on those summer afternoon rainstorms and all that. Dude, it comes through there bad. It does, you know. So Cedar Key does, you know, just naturally, you know, because of the way everything's shaped or whatever, it takes a beating. And here was us, kind of the calm before the storm, you know, waiting on the get up to go. Very, you know, little water, and what little water was there? This was like the one little protected area. You know, that they had everywhere else, it was 2 to 3s, you know, from the wind blowing. It was bad. It was. So, believe it or not, Eric and John were the very first ones there to put their boat in the water. I know you find that hard to believe, but we were the very first ones, and Chris greeted us, and he's like, yeah, we're going to have everybody put in over there, you know, down, you know, at the only ramp that, you know, he assumed or whatever they kind of told him, you know, that we needed to use, which was the one that goes out, you know, to the open, not the little cove, protected cove there. Well, we backed it in, and I mean, right there at the ramp, it was 1.5, 2 foot.
Eric was already calling Mayday. He got the boat in. He Mayday, Mayday, pull the boat out. We quit.
So
he couldn't even pick me up.
So, well, the wind was blowing so hard that if I would have let it push this into the dock, it would have been hell to get off the dock. So I came to the end. John timed it right, and he jumped onto the deck, and then somehow or another didn't bust his ass. Yep. So that was cool. And then we eased all the way around the pier, and then we came back under the bridge, and then we were just kind of like the guinea pigs to see how much water we had, you know, and we managed to get up on the inside, tie up to the dock, went up, let Chris know, hey. And by that time,
Chris, don't put it over there.
By that time, everybody else was going, I ain't putting it in that crap.
No way.
So they were already.
The guinea pigs were soaking wet already. They're like, yeah, we'll go the other side there.
So, yeah. So that.
And your boat's big. Their boats are little. Oh, their boats would have been in disaster putting it in there. You know, somebody might have got hurt. Somebody may have gotten hurt trying to get into those boats.
Very much up, from the waves and everything there.
Yeah. You have a deck for me to jump on. They do not have a deck to jump on. Somebody could have slipped, fallen, hurt. Man, it would have been just a disaster.
Are you saying I have a large deck?
Yes, you have a large deck. Be proud of that large deck.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. LMAO, guys. All right. Worst storm I've ever fished in.
Yeah. Justin, I hate lightning, boy. Me and Eric's taller than I am, so I felt safer because I knew he was going to get hit first.
So again, Florida Redfish Series doing what they can. They did a great job.
Oh yeah,
Everything,
you know what? That was as smooth as you could send a tournament off.
They did.
Smooth.
They realized that they had to change things up.
Yep,
They changed it on the fly. They did it again.
Yep.
Everything good
great.
with the Florida Redfish Series.
Yep.
But we get launched off when we were 21.
Yep.
So we got several boats started to roll, and our game plan, we were going to go north for a little ways, and I have a large boat, but it's a large flat bottom boat. I was like, man, we're going to take
a pounding
beating, getting to where we want to go if we did, or if we went to where we pre-fished. And
we would have definitely taken a ditty.
My boat also is a source of income, so
you have to use it.
So if I break the source of income, or even just to go
any
win,
income,
some of the money. If I got to take all that money and loss of time to fix the boat and all that, it's just not worth it. So I told John, I said, hey, look, I said, there's places that I fished here on tournament, or not on tournament, but on charter. Let's go hit some of these spots up, and we'll just see what we can do, and we'll see what this weather does. And we rolled out. We were probably, we didn't run 7 minutes, and then we were already getting ready to start fishing. And where we went, I had not fished there since the hurricane. There used to be a lot of grass where we went.
It devastated that area.
It was a desert with water on top of it. So
it was bad.
We cast, and kind of come around to an order, and we're like, man, look, okay, the water's low. I said, let's go hit these rocks up over here, and we cast, and it was bait. There's mullet jumping, all the sign that you want to see. We had structure, current,
and bait.
What did we catch?
I caught a trout.
No. Well, not. Yeah, we did catch a trout.
Caught a trout.
We did catch a trout there.
Yep.
So,
and that was a shock.
and as all this is happening, the grumbling's coming, and the light show's starting to come up, and it's getting
rough.
Cold. I won't say black, but a very dark gray.
It was black. It was black.
And we're in 8 inches of water, and it's in 8 inches of water. So I get on the trolling motor, and I just start, I'm slowly inching us to the shoreline. And this is before the bottom falls out.
We know it's coming.
And I'm going, and I get us to the shoreline. I power pole down. I jump off the front of the boat, and I get in. About this time, the rain's starting to come down. And John's sitting in the boat. Do you remember what you said?
I don't know. What did I say?
John's sitting in the boat, and I'm getting in behind the mangroves on land, and John's going, is it better over there?
It was definitely better over there. Better over there. Oh, so, gosh.
John was under the impression that the wind blew us to the shore. I'm like, John, I've been trolling motor to the shoreline for about 10 minutes now.
To be bad. Yeah. So, I got a bad feeling.
So at this time, we're on the shoreline, and I'm like, we may be disqualified because we got out of the boat. We're not fishing.
We didn't care,
but we were gonna try to live.
Yeah, we didn't care.
John did go live, and it didn't do justice.
Oh.
I mean, we had 20-foot visibility, and it was raining sideways. The lightning was popping everywhere. The wind's blowing its ass off. My boat is just doing this on the shoreline. It was
ugly.
It was bad, and that lasted like 45 minutes. It finally
was kapowing everywhere.
It was, and it finally kind of passed up, and we got back in the boat and tried to kind of get out of the deep water again and go about our business. And I said, John, first game plan didn't work. I said, let's go try this other side. We'll try over there, and we'll see. So we kind of eased around the island, got up in this little cove, and rocks, flowing water,
mullet
bait,
everywhere.
No fish.
Redfish?
Everything that they preach, everything that we preach,
it didn't happen.
No fish.
That or they didn't. We were offering. We tried really hard.
I said, John, this is frustrating now at this point. I said, let's try and make the run north, and let's just go see. So I think we made it about 2 miles.
Yeah, we got 2 miles of ditty. We had 2 miles of ditty on our butt, and we said, no, that's enough of that.
Nope.
We got ditty.
We tried.
We're good. We're good with that.
Said, I'm not doing this anymore.
We're going to go hide in a creek.
Yep. So we went up and we just started fishing stuff we've never fished before. Everything looked good. Lots of grass.
We saw tails, we saw fish, we saw everything, but they just weren't doing what they were supposed to be.
There were tailing black drum just about everywhere we went. And it was exciting as hell to see them. It was neat. Amazing. It was awesome, to see that they got a really great, at least drum this time fishery. Of year right now, black drum fishery. But they had we threw the kitchen sink at them just to try to have some pull on them.
Yeah, we just wanted something to tug on the rod.
And they did not want any, and it's no put down on Q8s. Q8 baits are fantastic. They, if fish are there, they normally eat this stuff, but they didn't want anything. And we threw the kitchen sink. We threw everything that we had at them. From other soft baits, other hard baits.
We tried everything.
Everything.
Anything.
And
begging for a bite.
No bueno.
No bueno.
I think you finally did stick a very teeny tiny
17 and a half inch red. He wasn't even close to being long enough.
And I was like, well, John, let's just kind of we're just going to run and gun. And we finally got to a point, and I'm like, well, here's all the kayakers.
Yeah,
we found the kayakers.
Maybe they know where redfish are now.
Yeah. So
it was awful.
We fished and fished and fished, and I often laugh at John. John's older than I am, and John has to have some breaks. And I said, I was proud of John because John threw and threw and threw and threw. He did. It wasn't for lack of trying. John threw his ass off, this trip, and we couldn't get it done. We zeroed. It's our first zero of the season, and it sucks. It sucks bad. So,
still not happy with this.
No.
Not happy.
And again, nothing with the Florida Redfish Series did great. They weighed in, everybody great. Yep, everybody came in. They did everything. They did everything to their point. Job. Great. Yeah. They're doing a good job. We're looking forward to St. Augustine. Mm-hmm. Can't wait to see what the shitty weather will be like at St. Augustine. But John finally did
calling for tornadoes, or sharknadoes, or redfish nados. Maybe we can catch one in the redfish nado.
There you go.
It might land one in our boat.
Yep.
If we have any boat left.
The John finally did buy some rain gear.
I was dry. First time in my life I've been dry. That was what ruined it.
Yeah, you screwed up about the rain gear.
I went out of my...
to be miserable to catch fish.
I went out of my comfort zone and got into comfort, and I shouldn't have done that.
Yep.
That was the problem.
Yep. So
there's always something to blame.
Yeah. So
I blame the gooseware.
So we did not do well. And talking to a lot of people that did weigh, the two fish that they caught or the one fish, that's what they caught for today. It wasn't a fantastic day for a whole lot of people.
I think Tyler and Andrew caught a bunch.
Yep. Well, they come to find out we're in the neighborhood where we pre-fished the day before. Yeah. So we had the right instinct. We just, we weren't gonna take the whooping, to get there.
Yeah, sounds like the weekends. That's what it is.
Yep.
Never fails.
So
let's go fishing. And it's like the weather goes no. It's like, why? That's our time off. Can't you just be nice?
Yep.
Be nice.
But like I said, normally I'm not scared of rain, and I'm not scared of wind so much. But the combination of the rain with the wind and that lightning popping, made me want to, get off the boat and in.
It's just because you're tall.
Well,
you're like a tree.
This
you're
is
like
true
a pine
too.
Tree.
Yeah.
Well, you're tall on that boat.
You saw I got down.
I know you did. You were down.
At one point you filmed me, and I'm getting
taking a
crap. So again, we highlight when we do great. We highlight when we suck, and we could not. Yeah, we couldn't pull it off, and then, like I said, it sucks. But,
I couldn't have caught a cold that day.
Yeah, well, we could have. You could take the jacket off.
I couldn't have caught a cold that day. No. Not that day.
It was, it just was, lesson learned. Take the ass beating. I guess I don't know. run where.
I don't know about all that.
I know.
I don't like getting ditched.
Yeah, no. Like I said, we're years and years of taking abuse, and I feel it at my
not much fun anymore. When I was 20, I would have been like, let's send it.
Sure.
When you decided to turn, I was very happy with that. I wasn't going to tell you to do it, But you've done it. And I was slightly cheering on the inside, like, yay. Because, I mean, my guts were rearranged at this moment.
And that was with my new upholstery. You had like 3 inches of cushion now that was new for you. You know, that was nice.
Oh, it wasn't uncomfortable. It's just my back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, and it can't take too much of it anymore. And I'd already thrown my arm off, so it was starting to feel like that crick in there. I'm like, man, dang.
But I mean, we were troopers. We had to check in. We had to be there by 3:45, and we checked in at like 3:37. So I mean, we fished till the end, and
still couldn't catch a fish.
Yep. So I think we might have said a curse word or two.
I think I did. I think I might have a few.
Yep. John Sonny's barbecue. This is one of them times I wish we were just sitting here eating, Sonny's barbecue like we did a couple of episodes ago. That was good, I
had salmon tonight. It was good.
But big shout out to Josh and Melissa McCall for sponsoring us. There will be some Sonny's barbecue sauce and goodies, some lucky winner's going to go home with tonight. Oh, is that the sweet?
Boy, it just don't.
Oh, they're going to get some sweet.
I could, just pop this top and do a Casey right now and hair. I think I could drink this.
You could do it.
Yeah, I think I could drink this.
You could do it. I bet you could. At least one shot.
Socrates has joined us.
Socrates, what's up, buddy? What's up? Let's see. All right. Yeah, we have making sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, I think we got it. I think we're doing all right, John. We're doing all right.
Spotted by.
Making good grades. Future so bright.
Gotta wear shades.
Yeah, spotted by, John. There's one young man that did all right. He paddled one of them little kayaks around. He's not holding fish, but he's holding checks, Mr. James.
Checks are better to hold.
Yep. One day we're going to have a picture holding checks, John.
I don't know.
There's Kenny Penny with one of them ditch pickles right there. Yeah, I mean, hell, if you can't get out there and get blown around on
a bass.
I don't know, bro. It was blowing so bad on Russo the other day. I wouldn't want it to be on Russo. Dude, he's. I mean, when you look at him, he's got the hat on and all that, kind of looks gruffy. But I mean, when you look at some of his other posts, he's rocking the look, bro. He's got that Nickelback look.
Nickelback.
You more BGs, he's more Nickelback. I don't know what that's saying.
I don't know what that's saying. I got the Point Break look.
Point Break look. Okay. I mean, I think I know where you're trying to go. Yeah, but I don't. I knew you were going with it.
No, I done been called it.
Yeah.
A lady at the McDonald's says Point Break.
Wow.
Every time I go there, she's like, surf's up, bro.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, you ain't never seen me on no surfboard, I can promise you.
And there's Rick. Rick was Q8 testing, I think I saw on his post. And that's the one that I did pick, but he had some flounder on there. He had some trout. He had the redfish. So, I mean, he was out there testing, the Q8 baits. And by God, I guess he caught some fish. So
the Q got 8.
If Rick can do it, you can do it too. You think?
Sounds like a great motto. Because he sure was holding up more fish than me and you were.
True that.
That is a true story.
True that. All right, John, we have made it. What's our time? Oh, man, we're doing great on time. Here we go. Yep. John, where do you hook a snapper?
In the mouth.
There you go.
In the Gulf of America.
Well, that's where we're going to try to hook them this year. We'll be doing some
lots of dates, considering they ain't throwing out them grouper dates. They
still
haven't said a word about that, have they? It's kind of funny how that works, isn't it?
There's something
here, boys. Take some snapper. Oh, those grouper, and there's none out there. Don't worry about those. We fed you snapper, which was dying 2 years ago. There weren't any. We couldn't do it. There's none out there. Now all of a sudden there's all these snapper and there's no grouper.
And we're ready to take it.
Guys.
That picture was from last year,
but
even 2 years ago,
those red snapper are no longer out there.
Oh, mercy! But so red snapper. I think it was last week. We kind of gave you the regs, gave you the dates. Kind of told you a little bit about the red snapper. We figured this week why not get you prepared on how to catch them. Don, do you like to catch red snapper?
I love catching red snapper. They fight. We free line. Man, it's so much fun.
So I have had success in that probably I'll say 90 to 95 foot depth of free lining if the current is just right. If I'm shallower, much more success. But about 90, 95 foot is about where the extent of that free line.
Yeah, it's hard to do it.
Kind of does. I know that you like to drop one of them shiny things.
I do.
I'm
a steel jigger.
Tell us about that, John.
So steel jigging, like a 3-4 ounce steel jig, any kind. Usually have 2 hooks on there for an extra hook, just to get a hook. But I've got a jigging rod, jigging reel, 30-pound braid, 40 to 60-pound fluorocarbon, and it's flimsy rod, and it's real light, so it's easy to fish. It's got to be light because you're working this thing all day. But you tie that on, drop it down to the bottom, and I usually outfish people 7 fish to 1. They'll have bait, and I'll have that steel jig. I've already thrown 7 different species in the boat before they hook one.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I've done that. I've caught scamp. I've caught big fish on steel jig.
Yep.
And steel jigging is fun. I mean, it's a lot of work. As I've gotten older, it's kind of hurts me. But you drop it to the bottom, and then you just work that thing, and then let it fall back down. So it's a work up, and it flutters down. Work up, and it looks like a wounded bait fish. And a fish is an automatic thing is to eat that fish. So the red snapper tear it up. I mean, shoot, the cobia, they love it. All fish eat a steel jig.
They will.
And if you got the right color and the glow in the dark ones and stuff like that, they make for a very, very, very good time.
So when you're fishing for these red snapper, you can almost look on your bottom finder, get over your spot, get over the rock, the wreck, whatever it is, the crack, the ledge, and you can see the red snapper on there. And typically when you're looking at, say, grouper, a lot of times you're not going to see grouper on the bottom finder. You're going to see your rocks. You may see something off to the side, but that's going to be low. When you see the red snapper on your graph, we like to call it the Christmas tree, because you'll have your bottom, but it'll kind of come up in a triangle sometimes. And you may be, let's just say, 120 foot of water, and from the bottom it's 120. It may be, up to 190 foot of fish, and then back down, to the bottom in the shape of a triangle, or give or take, you'll see fish that far off the bottom. That you got some.
You can go over there, flat bottom, and all of a sudden it goes. And there it gets a woody and says, "Oh my gosh, there's fish right here, right here,
right there,
right there."
Yep.
Hit that trolling motor spot like on those things and throw out a little bit of that aquatic nutrition chum them up and get back there to fishing.
Yep. So like I said, John himself does like to use the old steel jig, and it works. It's productive, but like John said, it's work. It's work.
It's a workout.
And after doing it, and you catch a couple,
you're done.
You're like, okay.
You're parking the steel jig rod.
Yeah. So then typically what you want to do is you want to fish the bottom. And when you're fishing the bottom, you want to have different levels. So if you're out there on the boat and you're out there with company, you're out there fishing with your friends, have somebody on the bottom, have somebody 5 foot off the bottom, have somebody 10 foot off the bottom, stage it and find out where those fish are going to bite at that depth. And then once you kind of establish that, then, try to
does it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So that's the benefit of having a few people, fish on your boat. John discussed the free line, and Socrates right there was talking about 2015 after the red tide and all that good stuff. Fish were in thick, shallow. I mean, you could go out to 45,
20 foot of water.
Yeah, you could run out to 45 foot of water and catch all the red snapper that you wanted.
We caught 45 pounds in the Miller's tournament with 2 red grouper and 2 gag grouper, and we caught them on sheep.
Yeah,
red grouper that were 15 pounds.
Yeah.
That was, my dad was going to drive by it, and I said, "Why don't we just stop at sheep before we go all that way?" Because I heard there's red tide out there. We pulled up the sheep, got the anchor, dropped down, boom, everybody's hooked up.
Yeah.
Gag, red grouper, gag, red grouper. And I'm talking about, we caught 100.
Sure.
Because of the red tide had pushed all those fish. Now the ones that stayed out there during the red tide, red grouper die. They just roll over and die on the bottom. Now gag grouper will come up and breathe from the air, and they'll go back down about 20 feet, and they'll swim out of that red tide. They're smart, but your grunts and your flounder and your red grouper, they all croak. Red snapper, they leave. They're smart fish. I think the red grouper is smart fish. Die. Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird deal. Jimmy went out there and dove and saw it. It was weird. He said it was so gross that when they dove in the water to the bottom, that the death was on their wetsuit. But he said when he came up, he said he looked around. It was like euphoria. He seen like 1,000 grouper gags, not red grouper, gags, and they were 20 foot off the from the top.
Different thermoclines and different.
Well, they were just
in the
hanging
water.
out. They were hanging out. So they went back to the boat and they shot them all. Pow, pow, pow. They loaded the boat full of gags from shooting them at 20 foot. He said it was like euphoria. He said, but on the bottom, when they dove to the bottom in 60 foot of water, he said the red grouper, the flounder, the grunts, the puffers rolled over dead on the bottom. He said it was gross.
So you perplexed me with something you said there.
Yes.
You said that the grouper that came to the surface,
gags,
and they breathed the air.
They were coming up to the top, Jimmy said.
Yeah.
Jimmy said they would come up to the top, like so you got the boat, you're parked out there. And he said when they dove in, went to the bottom, fish are dead. So when they came back up, the gags were up about 20 foot under the surface. He said, but the gags would swim up and gasp air and come back into the water. Now, I don't know what that was doing, or I don't know what that does because fish don't breathe air.
Yeah.
But the gags were.
My confusion.
Yeah, the gags were coming up to the top and breathing air or dying.
I don't know. I was thinking we figured something out.
Yeah.
We need National Geographic to come over here.
But what he said was so weird is the gags weren't dead. They were living.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's a very weird deal.
Well, they relocated as well. You know, they realized
they were gulping like dying goldfish. See, he remembers it too. He saw it. It was from low oxygen, like he said. So they're doing everything, I guess, to survive, thinking that they're breaking the surface into new water, I guess, and maybe they're sticking their head above. But it was a weird deal. Oh, but the stench.
Yeah, but that was, that's in the past. We're catching red snapper.
Well,
now,
that's what made the red snapper population so big for us. And that's why we could go out there, like you said, at 40 foot of water. And remember that day we went out there and we caught 600? We caught them on bare hooks.
But there is video of that.
There is video of it. We videoed this. I mean, we literally have a long shank hook and we're going, hey, watch this. Bing, red snapper. Bing, red snapper. It's like that was crazy.
A J hook on a egg sinker.
Yeah.
It was just like a jig. And they were,
it's like, are you kidding me?
There is video.
Yeah, we have. It's the things we've seen out there. You know, and that day when we went out there and did that was the day that we saw all the cobia hanging with the sharks. That was that day, right? Because that was the same area where that wreck was that we caught those fish. Remember we were going to it? Was that the same? No, that was with Karrie. No, that was a different day. That was a different day because that was with Karrie. Karrie was with us that day.
No. That was, I don't remember who all was with us on that day, but I mean, we got the music playing.
Karrie.
We're empty hook jigging red snapper. It was entertaining.
It's back to 80 foot.
Yeah.
I mean, there are red snapper and 60 foot, yes, but you have to have a spot that's not hit by everybody, or a spot that KD hasn't given out to everybody.
You will have to. You won't get them in bulk. You'll catch one or two. So you'll catch some mangroves, you'll catch some other things, and then like this red snapper will come out of nowhere and you'll catch that. If you go out to 80. Give or take, it's about the same thing. And it will be for like the first week.
Yeah,
you can get it for that. But then after that, it's going to be 100 plus. That's hair. Okay,
hair. Casey's drinking again. That's three shots.
Yep. Casey caught a really bad redfish.
Yeah, he got a big red snapper with y'all.
Yep. That
was a monster.
It was. But there again.
Fish
so
to catch, man, free lining. Golly.
They are now again. Rules wise, they are refish. You got to use the old circle hook. If you're using live bait or dead bait, all that good stuff. So got to use the circle hook. I know that we made a comment. We don't do as we do. Do as we. Don't do as we say. Whatever. Or whatever. Do as we say, not as we do. Yeah. But we did on that particular day. And again, they weren't in season yet. We were just playing. But so they will eat live bait. So if you guys start out shallow and you catch some Sailor's Choice, catch some sand perch, catch any of those goods, something like that, bait fish, put them in your live well.
That's
you
money.
Drop them to the bottom.
And if you have baby crabs,
that's good.
Money.
Dead bait, when they are on and they want to eat, it's just getting the bait down there.
That's right. Just get your bait down there.
Let me tell you this. Don't dilly-dally. Enjoy the fact, you got a big fish on or whatever. Get that fish to the boat as fast as you can because the tax man is here. Last year, we would get 2 or 3 good fish a stop before the tax man would come. Once the tax man comes, he's not going to let you get anything else in the boat. So enjoy the catch, but get them in the boat as fast as you can because if not, and it's not just the tax man, it's the tax men. There are schools of the sharks
bulls
out there.
4 or 5 at a time, and you don't want to fall in during that.
No, you don't want to fall in. But I mean, 2, it's just if you sit there, all you're going to do is kill those fish. Because you're going to reel them in, and they're going to get hit. 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 Get what you can, get off the spot, go somewhere else.
And he does know the difference. It's funny. You can reel a grunt up, he won't hit it.
No,
you can reel a gag up, he doesn't give 2 craps. A red grouper, he could care less. But if you hook a red snapper or a hogfish, he gone. Mango, he gone. Gone. Smoked.
Yep.
It's amazing how they know the difference of what fish tastes like, huh? Who's telling them this? Who's doing the menu?
It always seems to be
who done the menu?
What you're fishing for.
It does. Isn't that kind of funny how that works?
Because even like with the spawning sheep's head, when you go out there to catch a sheep's head, the Goliaths, they don't want the crap that you bring up, but you finally bring up a good sheep's head, here he comes.
He'll love it.
It's always the fish that you're trying to get in the boat. What you want is what the fish want as well.
The predators down there want what you want to eat.
But so the red snapper, several ways to catch them. Like I said, if you're in shallower, the free line method, chum, and then just kind of free line out. That always works. Obviously, don't do it if the current is hauling ass, and you're chumming.
You're wasting your time.
By the time the chum gets anywhere, it's 2 miles behind your boat. You're looking for a current where you're getting, you see it falling, but you also see it going to the back of the boat. That's what you're looking for.
Like
if you get that, you're in that 90's really pushing it, but anywhere in that, probably 60 to that 90-foot range is where you really want to try to do the free line. And when you could free line and you see them where they come up to the back of the boat, it's almost like picking the one that you want.
It's
you can't beat that feeling.
and hold on when they hit it because it's you're in for a ride.
It is.
That drag burns.
Woo. Dip. If you're free lining and you see the fish and they eat everything but your line,
your fluorocarbon's too big.
Come lighter on the fluorocarbon.
You're not going to land them all, but you'll get a couple at least.
So, and if you're able to
hide the hook,
that's almost, the sharks don't seem to get them as fast. The sharks seem to hang down there at the bottom. So if you can get those fish to come up to the top and you catch them at the top, you're more likely to load the boat. But most of the time we are anchored or fixated, especially if you're doing the chumming. I know a lot of people, they will drift, and on a charter it's hard to drift when you got so many people on the boat, because you're trying to drift over the rock, pull it back up, drive back over, drift over the rock. Can you do it? Sure, but there is a level of difficulty there. But it's another method, to put them in the boat, especially if it's one of those bad weather days or whatever the case might be. You're out there, you might as well try to do something, and it's when you're trying to drop anchor on one of them rough days, dropping the anchor's not so bad, but trying to get the anchor back on a rough day kind of stinks. So drifting is always something that you could.
You're looking for the bottom on your machine that's got the hard reds, where the where when you've got your flat line and your reds go down deep under the bottom, so it's a real hard bottom. They're on any type of bottom like that or any type of structure wrecks. They're in that, you know.
They're going to be on the rocks, the wrecks,
ledges.
and the ledges.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to find your red snapper at. Very similar to, your gag grouper and things.
Yeah.
The same things that you're looking for there. That's the same thing you're looking for, with the
and there's yellowtail out there. There's mangroves
sure.
out there.
Oh, yeah.
There's hogfish out there. You take a good 200 shrimp with you live, keep them alive and free line those bad boys. You'll be surprised what you might hook up out there. And an occasional wahoo might swim by. You never know.
So, yeah, once you get out there, you never know what you're going to catch. But you could pretty much count on Almaco jacks. They're out there very thick now. Look for the yellowtail.
Yep.
Or not, I'm sorry, not the yellowtail, but look for the dolphin. As you're running out there, as you're running out and you see anything in the water, just like you would think, oh, there might be a triple tail over there. Go look, because you may look in the water and go, holy cow,
they're down there.
There's dolphins.
They might be 30 foot down, but they make that blue yellow flash. And if they do, have a gulp rigged up. That's what they want.
Yep.
They don't want anything else. A gulp.
No, John, they want a Q8 now.
They'll eat a Q8.
I think the last time that we got an opportunity to do that together, that's what we had on the boat at the time.
We had on that boat.
And
That's all we had. And they ate it. Yeah.
But yeah. Any questions in the comments before we wrap this thing up? Let's see. My wrist still hurts from that day, Casey says. That was a good fish that he had.
His wrist hurts from taking shots right now.
Yeah, let's see. No question there. Socrates adding some information. Socrates. So, all right, John, tell them what we're giving away tonight.
M's, jigs, and Q8 baits, which go together.
Go together nicely.
Because we're talking about red snapper.
Yep.
And man, oh man, oh man.
Woo.
You know good and well
Woo.
that if you get your beef and you stick that on there, it's going to taste fine, like strawberry. Dry
How's it taste on the pork?
Where?
On the pork. You said it was good on the beef. How is it on the pork?
Oh, man, it's fantastic.
What about the gator?
And then, of course, there's there's not 2 cards in there for $20.
Oh, no. We're giving away sauces right now.
Okay, sauces.
Woo!
All right, well, that's it then.
All right. And that's it then.
Yeah. What you're winning.
So, mark your calendars. June 28th. Party time.
Summer bash.
Yep, the party time at the Blackwater.
Summer
Be at the
stash.
Blackwater. Yep. Oh, let's see. All right, John. You know how we're doing it. We're going to ask a question. The first 5 right answers we see. Going to write your name down. It's going to go into the old Captain's Cove bucket here. Then John, or I guess I'll shake him up, and then John will draw tonight's winner. So tonight's question, very easy.
Ooh.
We don't ask very many
How
hard
many fish
questions.
did John and Eric catch during the tournament?
Eric didn't catch squat.
Oh, how many fish did we catch during the tournament?
John, you giving away fish?
I don't have any fish to give away.
No fish to give away.
What fish would you like me to give away? I don't have any of those.
You didn't catch any to give away.
That's right.
So, all right, let's see. Let me get on the right page here. Okay, so I'm here where I can see the answers. David's already guessing 16 inches. That is not correct.
That is not the answer, but good try.
All right. Tonight's question. The current all-tackle world record for red snapper is, I need a weight. The current all-tackle world record for red snapper is, and I need the weight. I need to know how many pounds, how many ounces.
That's big.
Current all-tackle world record.
That's big, dude.
Not Florida.
That's
world
big.
record.
Where do you get a red snapper like that?
Where do you get one like that? All right, let's see. Well, apparently you get it in Louisiana.
No, I was going to say a big one in Louisiana. Got Denise Christie. Sam, you have the right answer, right? Or is that not the right answer?
It is, but he's not from here, so he's got to do stuff different.
And Doug and Thomas.
Yep, Doug. I was just verifying.
Mm-hmm. You know that I can't see. Doug and Tom.
Yep, and Thomas. There we go. All right. We got everybody in there. So the answer was 50 pounds, 4 ounces. Just shake it up. Well, let's see who's in here before we shake it up too much here. We got Christy in the bucket. We got Thomas in the bucket. Denise is in the bucket. Sam is in the bucket. And Doug is in the bucket. All right.
Here we go. Who's going to be the lucky winner tonight?
50 pounds is a whole lot of weight.
That's
a
big
fish.
man. That 25-pound fish that I caught totally whooped my butt. He was up and down 4 times on that boat out there in Louisiana. So I could only imagine what a 50-pounder would pull.
Twice that size.
Yeah, twice that size.
Oh, look at that.
Well, I'm starting to pick on girls again, and it's not Christy won.
Casey says the one I caught was 52 and 8 ounces, unconfirmed.
Christy, you're the winner.
Congratulations, Chris.
Unconfirmed. I love it. Mine was unconfirmed, but dang, he was big.
He was. There you go. Good job, Christy. Good job on everybody on their Googles. Google search come up quick. All right. Well, John, we have got to the end of another one. Up, Sam, 6 o'clock. You got to let me know. I'm not setting my alarm. Oh, mercy. All right. John, we got to the end of another one. We'll be back with you next week. Next Wednesday, when we'll be talking about whatever we feel like talking about when we figure it out Wednesday morning.
It'll be a surprise.
Oh, mercy. Gotta love it. All right. Let me get to the right thing right here.
Bash it up.
Bash it up. Mash it. Oh,
Smash
bash.
it, bash
Summer
it.
bash. You
Summer
ready for the
bash.
party?
I'm ready for the bash.
All right, here we go.
Bash time.
All right, John. We Be Tailing is brought to you by Shasty McNasty Fishing,
Capt Cove Outfitters.
Jim's Jigs,
Filletzall Blades.
Aquatic Nutrition,
You ate super bait.
Karrie's Custom Rods,
Sonny with State Farm.
Native Nautical Mailboxes. Talk to him today.
Salt Light.
And this kind of sort of power pole.
Sea
Sonny's Barbecue, Josh and Melissa.
and Hippo Head Hotel.
There you
Get
go.
your room.
Everybody be safe out there. Have fun. We'll see everybody next week. See ya.